Here we go. Good evening, Melrosians the world over. I'm Tom Catalini.
I'm Sam Hammer.
I'm Tom Shampoo.
And I'm Jen LeClaire.
And this is Let's Talk Melrose. Melrose. It's a show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose. And we talk about both kinds of Melrosians, all kinds of Melrosians, right, Tom?
All kinds of Melrosians. How many kinds are there? Before we go on, I need to just put a halt on everything because I just realized it's way overdue that Sam Hammer and Tom Shampoo get a part of the opening sequence. We're not even in there. We're not in the opening sequence. We have all these people who have
long gone
graced us with their presence on the show.
Oh, that's a long storied history of guest hosts, though.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, we're gonna have to.
Anyway, all right.
We'll squeeze you in
Next time, we'll discuss later.
We'll talk to the editing team. We'll talk
to the technical team. Speaking of Melrosians talking to Melrosians and talking at Melrosians and sharing stories with other Melrosians.
Yes.
LTMM attended the in real life, live from the living room community storytelling at Follow Your Art this past
that's right.
Saturday. Yeah. We were all over the place this weekend. We played board games at the Worklery and we went to
margaritas.
The margaritas. Yeah. We
were together a lot.
We were together a lot this week. Yeah. And then, storytelling at Follow Your Art, hosted by Rilda Kissel and Christopher Robinson. It was phenomenal, and it was. Tom Champ, you shared. There was lots of really moving stories, and
not mine, but others were moving.
No, as was the rescue of Lammy. Are you kidding me?
It was the full range of stories. It was really. It's just amazing to be able to see something like that live and in person. Tom did get up and told a great story. And they spanned everything. Yeah, there he is. Look at that. Live on stage.
Live on stage.
So, and not to take anything away, but I think maybe for next month, Tom, I want to hear about the effing sixes from game night, because something happened here on Mexican Train that we still don't we haven't fully explored the emotional journey of that roll of the dice.
Off the rails of the Mexican Train game.
I had like 6 sixes. It was unreal. It just threw my whole game off, man.
Anyway, board game night was also super fun at the work. Look, there we are.
There's Jen and Dave Martin and a bunch of people. So the Worklery setup was awesome. So that was Friday night, right? We went to the Worklery. All kinds of games, met interesting people around town.
New people.
The storytelling was Saturday. Wasn't there something else? Did you talk about it already?
Wednesday, we went to Artsy Social and had margaritas.
Oh, that's right.
Wednesday,
That's,
oh my God, what a week!
I never have to leave this zip code.
We saw each other almost every day, and we didn't leave the city, and we could walk to half of the things we had to go to.
Right,
it's kind of great.
We saw each other almost every day, and still it's somehow not enough.
Yes, I agree.
I know you feel that way, Tom.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, speaking of that, that's one more thing I was going to add, that I went to the library today for the first time with the new library space. I'm embarrassed to say I haven't been over there since they changed, but it was really fantastic. I want to say thank you, Aaron, for the help at the desk. There. I mean, it was busy. There are people there. There's services there. There's a lot of books, obviously, there. Some of the books are in the back. They have to go get them and bring them back out. But really, the library's doing a great job. So I want to give them a little shout out today.
They are great. Aaron's the best too.
Aaron's good.
Yeah, they are great. So last week on the show, we talked about All American Boys and the event that the Melrose Ed Foundation Parent University is hosting coming up on Feb 8th with Brendan Kiley. And so this week, we're talking about women-owned businesses and the Melrose Commission on Women. We have 2 guests joining us later, Emily Minton and Lauren Grimmick with the City of Melrose. So we're excited to have them on the show to talk about some of the work that's happening in the city and also the upcoming events and work of the Women's Commission. So stick around because we'll talk to them in a little bit.
But first, the news.
Oh, is this me first?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're the most qualified to.
Do you remember the meeting before the show when we went over?
Buckle up! It's going to be freezing this weekend.
Oh my goodness! I'm not looking forward to this.
I'm joking. Arctic air is coming down. Yes, it's going to be really cold. It's going to be like coldest in 5 to 10 years in some places, maybe more. It's February, or it's almost February.
I know, but yes, I know it may be February, but they're talking about -6 or more. Like
-4.
I don't care what month it is.
Yeah. That's
just,
chilly.
That's unusual. That's chilly.
That's the temperature, not the air. Not the air.
Right.
Not the. Yeah.
Right. I would love to say
feels
that
like
I
temp,
can, not leave my house, but I do have to go out that morning, so I'm a bit dreading. I'm a bit.
Oh, really? Saturday morning? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday morning will be chilly too, but Saturday will be really cold.
So
negative. So
I'm sure there's lots of good advice that I don't fully understand, but you got to watch for your pipes freezing and
and your neighbors and
stuff. Check on your neighbors, make sure your pets are inside, all kinds of things like that. So
yes, and we were talking earlier that all fire pits must go indoors. It's going to be too cold. It's in a fireplace.
Right. I was going to say,
that sounded kind of dangerous.
That does not sound like something that came from the fire department recommendation.
Right.
Okay. As heard on LTMM.
Yes.
This may or may not be real news for us.
Or decent advice, but sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
No. So speaking of housing. I got an email earlier today from the city about a Melrose Affordable Housing Forum, Thursday, February 8th from 7 to 8:30. So
February 9th.
February 9th.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm literally looking right at it. Thursday, February 9th from 7 to 8:30 at Temple Beth Shalom. The speakers will discuss the current state of affordable housing in Melrose and ways to expand its supply, quality, and accessibility to help further the city's mission of making Melrose open to all. So I'm going to put the link for the city's affordable housing plan. But I think it's going to be kind of exciting. We've tried to tackle housing here a
couple times. Yeah.
This will be an interesting conversation.
Yep. Dana LeWinter, who's I think been on the show talking about housing, has she?
If
not,
I don't know if we've talked to her on the air or at Cafe Nero. I can't remember.
True. Patata. She'll be there talking about housing, and it's sponsored by a few other organizations. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Good. If you're curious.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had it, as you mentioned, we've had it on the show a couple of times. And the thing that I remember, I think more than anything else, is it's a really complicated subject, right? And so having the forums is good. If we get people who know how to describe it and explain it in simple ways for people, it's going to be helpful. But it really is a complicated process. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has an impact. And the city has been developing a plan, and the plan buys us some time for some flexibility to meet certain numbers and all that. So it's a big topic. So good to go and check it out. Yeah. What? This is my news item?
I just changed it.
That literally just changed. All right, this is about the bin, right? We're asking Melrosians for unused and still packaged items. Well, they've updated the criteria since last week for the annual Trivia Bee. So this is the whole thing where
it was always that, actually.
Oh, our team has added new details, freshened up the ass this week. But basically, the bridge between now and March 4th, you can drop off at the bridge bin at 177 Bellevue Avenue. What they're doing is taking your unused, unwanted, but new stuff that's hanging around your house and cluttering it up, a gift you got or something like that, or something that you bought that you can't return. Throw it in the bin. It's going to raise some money for the bridge and do good in the world.
Not Sam. That's not skanky, right?
I don't think so. It's a ball my kid made, but it is unused.
Oh,
all right, fine.
You have to keep that. Heartless. It's a great idea. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's a great idea.
Yeah, for sure.
So that should be fun. One man's re-gift is another man's treasure. I don't know. So before we move on to our guests, just real quick, there's some things like we just talked about all the fun things that we did last week. You may catch the LTMM team this upcoming week checking out Broken Leg Productions, Peter and the Starcatcher, February 3rd and 4th at Melrose Highlands Congregational. Rising Eagle, I don't know if anybody, that's been a favorite fun place for us to hang out a lot lately too. And every Monday they have Music Mondays at Rising Eagle. So downstairs they have live music acts down there. And again, we already mentioned the upcoming book talk February 8th that Parent University is putting on with Melrose author Brenda Kiley. So that should be great. Check out the Melrose Creative Alliance for arts and cultural events happening in Melrose, and you can sign up to have all that information delivered right to your email box.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Hey, quick question on the Rising Eagle. That's not like an open mic situation, so they book people ahead of time.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it one person or a couple of people? Or
I've seen a couple.
One act. Well, one act
per
night. Yeah.
Yeah, I got.
And I think it's like 6 to 8, right, Jen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's
Yeah,
still
so it's
downstairs? It's downstairs?
Yeah, downstairs.
It's like down in the corner. Yeah.
Okay.
In the restaurant.
I did
Yes.
see the upstairs activated last week.
Really? Wow.
How
Yes,
so?
I didn't go up there. I don't know. There were balloons, and I saw people walking around. So
There's gonna be more
I almost
happening
went up.
there.
I almost went up to crash the party just to see what it looked like, but I did not.
Yeah, well, we had Julie Nolan on not too long ago, and she's going to be doing a show in March upstairs
Yeah.
in the big venue up there.
Is that your mic, Tom? I think your mic is starting to be staticky.
Okay, is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I staticky?
Oh boy.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll call
All right.
back.
Well,
in.
while you're figuring that out.
Yes, we will bring on. We need to play the music though.
Oh yeah.
Tom, you have to play. There we go.
Okay. It's a little staticky jam, but let's bring them on.
Hey.
Hi, Emily
Hi.
and Lauren. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. I especially appreciate
I fully appreciate it.
it. So you both are on the Women's Commission, and you have an event coming up in a few days. So we'd love to hear more about it.
Sure. Yeah. So we're really excited. This is our first big event post-pandemic in person. So we're excited for that. So it's called Perfecting Your Pitch. And the goal is to really help provide women with some tools and insights to build their confidence in talking about themselves as they think about maybe going back to the office more, re-entering the workforce, maybe changing jobs, or just starting some sort of new project or endeavor, while also getting an opportunity to meet other women in the community. So we are featuring Jennifer Hillary from an organization called Speaker Sisterhood. She is a former Melrose resident, and her club she has a Melrose club. And Speaker Sisterhood is all about helping women improve their public speaking skills, advocating for themselves more effectively at work, improving their presentations, and helping cultivate their authentic voices in a supportive environment. So we're really excited to have Jen lead us in a workshop and then have some time for networking. Similar to what you were saying earlier, we're going to be at the Worklery, and we're really excited about that, as that's a woman-owned co-working event space and art gallery on Main Street. And we're also featuring women-owned businesses for food, Buckaloo's and Yara Chocolates and Sweet Spot.
Nice.
That's fantastic. Yeah, no kidding. That's great. Nice.
That's awesome.
And so go ahead, Tom.
Oh, sorry. So can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I had to do a little reboot, reconfigure. But Emily, thanks for coming on the show. Nice to see you again, Lauren. So Emily, for people who are thinking about going to this event, to speaking skills, like maybe like an elevator pitch feels like sales, but you had a lot of different examples. So like, who should be thinking about attending? And
really anyone. It's really just about being able to talk about yourself in like a short amount of time and presenting yourself in different ways. Somebody might, if they are definitely looking to do something different professionally, might want to try that on, but it could be someone that just wants to talk about a different aspect of their life, like a new endeavor a new club they're joining, a new part of their life that maybe they don't often speak to as much as they do in sort of their day-to-day life. It's going to be workshop format, so a little presentation, some work, and back at the end, kind of regrouping together, and then a lot of networking too. So if people are really just interested in the networking part, that's okay too.
Oh,
So
great.
do you get like a little formula and you get to workshop it, and then maybe the networking you can practice it a little bit. So you walk away with
Yes.
like some takeaway item and maybe some experience talking to people and trying it out
Exactly. Yeah,
in a friendly like supportive environment. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. She's going to give us some tools. We're going to draft some work and then have an opportunity to do some practicing. So yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
That's so great. Did you meet Jen when she lived in Melrose? Is that how you first met her, or did you meet her after?
Yes. So we actually started, I met her at the old Y at Open Gym with our oldest children. And she remains one of my dearest friends.
Oh, wow. Oh, great.
She's great. She moved out of Melrose. She's a little up north, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I've been following her a little bit. I'm super impressed with what she's been able to put together.
Wow, yeah.
Did not know her when she was a Melrosian, but I'm a big fan. This is really exciting that she's coming to do this. So thanks
Yeah,
for
we're
bringing
thrilled.
that. Yeah.
Has she done some work with the chamber too? I feel like I've heard her name before, Lauren. When
She
have
did,
you
yeah.
had her?
She had joined the chamber and she had done something similar. I think we did it sort of virtually when I was still working there.
Yeah. it was a while ago.
So, you know, I can say firsthand that she's excellent. And like to Emily's point, I think everybody needs to be able to say like who they are, what they do. You know, and I think I just want to add like, you know, there's so many new people that continue to move into Melrose. I certainly take it for granted how connected I am, even with, you know, just all of you are living here for 10 years, or if you have kids in the school or had kids in the schools. But I feel in looking at the list of people that are coming, there's a lot of new people that I don't know. And I'm hoping too that this is like a nice way for people to kind of connect, make some relationships. You don't have to just go and, you know, socialize. There's some activity that's involved. And then from there, you know, hopefully some additional connections can come from that. And I think that's one of the main, you know, points and part of the mission of the Women's Commission is to foster those connections within the community. So,
And you know what? Even if you just if you're curious what the Work Lurie space looks like, you should go and scope it out. It's a beautiful space, and there's I forget the local artist who's being featured up there right now, but there's a lot of artwork around there, and it's just a great space, and you can see like what's happening in town, and probably meet Mel, who runs the place, and it's great. And I just like that this is another one of those events. I think just about everything we talked about was like literally anybody who's interested in a story or a little cocktail meetup or whatever, or elevator pitch could apply to anybody, and just, you know, show up and mix and mingle. Yeah, without it having to be like a PTO thing or we're all some angry march on City Hall or something like that.
Those are my favorite things. What are you talking about?
I'm talking to you, Sam Hammer.
Lauren, I love what you were just saying too about like there's a lot of names on the list of people who have RSVP'd already that you don't recognize. It occurs to me that like there probably will be a lot of people that you may or may not know, and I sort of think if they're showing up there to work on their pitch, they probably have something interesting or cool that they're working on too. Like it's a great place to meet some people who are probably, you know, either embarking on or poised to embark on some really cool stuff in our community. So it's an opportunity to hear about that too.
Well, and the commission has a couple of openings. So that would be the perfect time. We'll certainly be looking for new commissioners. We were talking before the show that Sam was one of the original commissioners
OGs
back in the day. And you know, it would be a nice way to get some, you know, some other folks involved who maybe have been more behind the scenes or haven't been as involved in the community. So it's a great way for us to kind of recruit some of those new commissioners as well.
And what are that's a great segue to talk a little bit about the Melrose Commission on Women and what kinds of programs and activities you do, what you're looking for in your new commissioners.
Sure.
Well, you go ahead first. Emily.
No, it's okay, Lauren. Go ahead.
Well, I would just say, I think we, like everybody else, we, you know, kind of took a little bit of a hiatus with COVID. We had a little bit of virtual programming, but prior to that, you know, there was a lot more in-person events, things like, everything from getting your headshot to, doing a full study that Sam was part of on, childcare in Melrose. And so we'll be looking to get back into those things. But I think it's important if we're bringing new commissioners on that we see what those talents are and what those ideas are to offer. But we do have a couple of other events that we're in the works, that we'll hopefully put on this spring as well.
That sounds
Any,
great.
any breaking news
no
we want to
teaser,
announce?
nothing,
Right.
nothing on that, Lauren.
I don't think so.
So is there an opportunity at some point for this event to have a part 2, like a follow-up to see how people are doing, if they've been able to use any of the skills or make progress in some way?
Yeah, I think we'll certainly ask for feedback too. And if, we're sort of open to sort of what the community is looking for. Other things we've done in the past have been around sort of legislation and advocacy. We've done some updates in the community about things going on, like with Rep. Lipper Garabedian. We hosted back in the middle of the summer a panel with reproductive justice experts around the time when Roe v. Wade we thought it was going to be repealed, and it, we found soon after that it was. We've also found times to celebrate together, like when we elected our first vice president. She was inaugurated. We had an event that night. It was virtual because it was still the height of the pandemic, but we found ways to still celebrate together. And then we've also collaborated with other organizations in the community, which has been really nice to kind of co-sponsor their events, whether it's Follow Your Art and doing storytelling, the Run for Women. We've done working with the Little Pink Schoolhouse on celebrating the 200th birthday of Mary Livermore. So we found some different ways, but we're certainly open to new ideas as well.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the things that I loved when I was about the commission, this commission specifically, but others as well, is that, to your point, Lauren, like when people come with their talents or their ideas, they're coming for a purpose. They want to do something and serve somehow. And I think the commission was like a platform for us to discover, like to bring forward the events that we wanted to have, or to do the research that we wanted to do. So it's a obviously very supportive group. So I can't recommend it enough. So.
How big is the commission? How many people are on this commission we're talking about?
There are 9 per the charter or the code of Melrose. We can have up to 9 members. So I believe with some people terming off, we will have like 3, maybe 4 openings.
Oh wow! Okay,
it's a 3-year term. So
Yeah,
a 3-year term, and the commissioners run the organization, but many people obviously participate, or maybe could even volunteer. Like if somebody didn't want to be a commissioner but wanted to be involved, are there opportunities to do some things like that?
Oh, sure. Like even, at the event, I think we have a couple of people who are just, we're pulling in extra hands to kind of make sure that the event comes together. But it's like any other board and commission appointed by the mayor. I think some of you have gone through that process before. City council approves it, open meeting laws and things like that. So anybody can, we meet usually the 3rd Monday of the month. So anybody can come on by and check us out too.
Hey, am I the only co-host who's not a commissioner at this point?
I'm not.
You're not a commission, but Shampoo, you're on some kind of commission, aren't you?
I am. Historical commission. Yeah.
Yeah. Jen, we gotta raise our game.
No. I am doing other things. It just doesn't happen to be a commission.
Yeah, but don't you want the
nonprofit?
Come on! Don't you want the title, the glamour?
No, actually.
Well, and it's also
the parking space downtown.
There's also the parking space, the discounts at all the shopping places, private parties. What else? The travel discounts.
Right.
All kinds of stuff.
Right.
So speaking about discounts and parking, Lauren.
Yes.
I was a reach.
Good segue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
While you're here, would you indulge on some updates on our retail community, retail updates?
City scoop.
Yeah, sure. Well, a couple weeks ago, you did mention paper and clay, and I'll say that is the city's supported pop-up program. So we have a state earmark from our local delegation, as well as some MOBD funding to put those entrepreneurs and those brands in the space at West Emerson for a full year, which is really incredible.
Oh, wow.
Getting to that space
year.
was
That's great.
Yeah. So they'll be there for a full year, which is really nice, and it allowed them to start that business in a very supportive way, because it's, pretty risky right now with inflation, the labor market. And quite honestly, there's not a lot of great retail space available. I found that out the hard way as I was trying to find a location for the program. Alfredo's, the neighboring business next to them, should be open this spring. As their renovations moved along, they had some things that they needed to do with their fire safety plan. So that's been approved. So we're happy to see that. There is a space next to Eric's Barbershop where it used to be an antique store. It's got some paper going on. So a local local Melrose couple is opening. It'll be some sort of little market-y place.
A markety place.
Markety place.
I love that.
Without giving out, too much. I think they've got a couple.
Break some news, Lauren. Come on, give us something.
A couple of phases. I mean, think, like a little market, right? So foodie products.
Markety.
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 Place.
But they plan to open it sort of in phases and offering, things from groceries and some goods to eventually maybe some hot prepared foods.
Great.
Wow.
Yay.
Which is
Now, will that be a year deal also?
that is not through the pop-up. That is like a permanent. I'm not sure
That's
what
their
their
own
lease would be,
permanent
but I would
business.
imagine
Okay.
they're signing, like a 3 or a 5 year lease or something like that with that landlord. That's separate.
Yeah.
That's just like I'm helping these businesses kind of through some of the city hall hand-holding process. So
Great.
So
that's
we
why
have
I'm careful to not say too much.
so we have the space down near us here on
It is.
Wyoming
Mhm.
that's now available. It was the Seven Hills, I think it was called. That kind
that's
of
right, yeah.
spot.
That's
now
right.
for rent.
Hey, first
So-
of all, are they still in business? Because that was good pasta.
I don't know.
are.
Yeah,
Maybe,
there's-
maybe,
Emily
they're,
says
maybe
yes.
they're growing. Who knows?
They're not in
Maybe
business
they-
there.
No,
They have
moved to
another location.
Boston, the public market in Boston. So they're down
Yeah.
there.
And they have another production site somewhere, I
Right.
think out
They're
Western Mass. More
consolidating,
central.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well, there's that.
no early word on what's going to be going in there, because again, we want to share the breaking news if we have it.
How about this? I have a tip. I'll give you the tip, and maybe you can break the news with the person
Yes.
next
yeah.
week or so.
Okay,
How's that?
investigative reporting.
Yes.
That way, I'm not breaking it. In case,
That way you're not breaking the news.
It's not mine to
You're just
tell.
putting us.
You're
You're
only
just putting
sharing
us on
with
the
us.
scent. You're just giving
We-
us the scent.
We need
Okay.
to get a
I
scoop.
will put you in touch. How's
Okay.
that?
Right.
I think
Oh
that'd
my
be a
God,
nice.
that's fantastic.
I want to make sure that she's
Wow.
Ready
very
for it.
fantastic.
So down here, that's awesome. But then, does anybody know what's going on with the Heavenly Licks spot? There's
Well,
some
that's called
activ-
Cloud 9, by the way,
Cloud
Tom.
9,
Kelly.
Oh yeah, I'm an old timer. Sorry,
Right.
Cloud
Heavenly Licks
Nine.
was
Very
way back in the
Italian.
old days.
Somebody's
Before they had
working in
computers.
there. Somebody
there's
used to make the ice cream by hand. Churn the.
I said
Sure,
before
the
they had
thing.
computers.
Oh.
there will be a small shop that has some crystals and some
Over there.
healing arts
Yeah.
and some jewelry. I believe they're relocating from Salem.
Okay. So I have a
Oh.
quick
It's
question.
not House Witch, is it?
Ooh.
I don't.
It couldn't be. That's a staple in Salem. So my daughter goes to Salem State University, and there's an awesome store down there. There's literally always a line to go in
House Witch.
House Witch. It's awesome. Anyway,
Okay.
So
And
Lauren, I have a
also,
quick question
what
for
about
you.
the
I'm sorry.
bookstore? Sorry, I wanted to ask about one more. The bookstore.
yeah.
well, I wanted to ask about the old vape shop. Well, we're still down here, Jen. Right?
Oh,
There's
come
the
on.
old vape shop and the thing that had an old bicycle in the window for like 2 years.
Well, that's been, that's with the planning board. I believe that there was an abutter who filed against it, like they, to kind of block the project. So I'm not sure exactly where that's at. That's
Okay,
3139 West Wyoming. That was going to be
Okay.
mixed use. So that's
Okay, that was a rebuild.
That's a rebuild, a redevelopment opportunity with housing and retail on the first floor. So I'm not sure exactly where it's at in the process, but might
I'm
still
gonna
be on
go-
the planning board's website.
We're
Next-
veering
next-
into Denise territory.
Yeah,
I
you
know,
should
but
have Denise
just-
or maybe Lori come on.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, when that comes up, I'm going down to talk to them because I want to be able to cut through that little worn down path in the grass. I don't want them to take that away. I like to cut
I think
the corner
I think
there.
the
No, I
plans
want it
left
to
that
have
there.
both there. I want. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think I think the plan was to keep the path.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Okay.
Because
Jen,
I
you
would
wanted
give
to
up
ask
the
about the
path. I would
bookstore.
give up the path in exchange for more markety stuff. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Marketing stuff sounds good.
Yeah.
It does.
Well,
Uh,
and another, beloved business, La Cuchara, they've got their catering truck that was working with the health department. So that should be, I would believe, up and running very soon if it's not already. So
Wait,
super.
tell us
super
more about that. So
excited.
this is a food truck or like a catering truck? So
I think it's going to be more for like catering at first. So,
food truck. Gotcha.
coming to do private events and things like that. I think they could certainly expand to that, but the idea is that you hire them for your,
Block
for
party?
an
Time to
event or
have
something
another
like that.
hullabaloo.
Beer garden, whatever,
International
Huh.
night at the Lincoln.
Yep.
It's
I think
international.
2023 is going to be off the hook in Melrose.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
exciting.
Yes.
Oh my
And then,
goodness.
there are some neat spaces. I mean, there's one in the MMTV building. There's this space in the building where, Madison Ave will be, closing, I think, in the next month or so. So that space will be available. There's some space next to the Melrose Animal Clinic. So, we do have some spaces. And we'll see, I think, over the next couple of years, a lot of these mixed use projects that have been approved coming to fruition. And that's certainly a future opportunity for some new businesses to come in the Highlands, obviously Caruso's. And so as those buildings, pop up permanently, we'll be able to hopefully get some great uses on that first floor there for all of us to enjoy.
So Jen, you want to ask about the bookstore?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know that's coming soon. I just was curious if it's imminently soon.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of renovations that happened there. And I know that they've, I think it was slower than they anticipated and we all wanted, but it is coming and it's going to be an awesome space.
Willing to wait. I think I saw a picture of them on their Instagram.
Putting inventory.
Putting books on the shelves. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So-
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So, Lauren,
a good sign.
I have a quick question for you. So, in these spaces that are available like this that come up, at what point do you approach it as sort of a pop-up space versus just a leasing space or a space that's available for a regular store or vendor or someone else?
Well, so the pop-up space, I mean, that is funding that the city secured. The original pop-ups were on Essex Street, Mothership of All Design and Rumi Candle. We were able to secure a second round of funding to continue the program, which is Paper and Clay that we talked about on West Emerson.
Yeah.
We'll certainly be going after more funding for that. And then that's sort of the opening with the landlord to say,
so it's funding first.
in conjunction with the consultant, facilitated the landlord relationship. It's still like a market rate, but that rent is subsidized through our pop-up program.
Okay, so that makes sense.
But, sometimes I think some of these landlords, they want the market rate and they want a long time. Even if a pop-up is going to make their windows look great for 6 months, they'd rather wait and have them empty in order to get a tenant that's going to be there for a long time. So I'm, I think building those relationships, there hasn't been that city person before my position to do that. But because of that, it's a little difficult to get in there with the landlords and say, put this program in there, even if we're going to pay, the full market rate for the rate.
And do you have a list of people waiting for pop-ups, like a waiting list of people that are ready to go if there's a space?
Yep. So there's we work with a group called Up Next. It's a women-owned business that they've done pop-ups all up and down the North Shore, a ton in South Boston, Gloucester, Burlington, and so they kind of curate. They figure out who to put in these spaces. We certainly wanted the preference on Melrose. And it just so happened that Leslie was interested in a space, Leslie Keegan, and it kind of worked out to put her in that program. But you could apply for it and maybe they would find you a space in another community. But we certainly want to prioritize, Melrosians if that was possible. So,
Well, I think we should use one space and we just have a desk and a coffee pot and Tom Shampoo sits there and you go and have a visit. I mean, that would That would work.
A line out the door. I'm sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The Tom Shampoo experience.
Well,
Well, you guys had
Cleaning
you
show.
guys had some merchandise at one point, right? I mean, do you
We
need a
did,
little
yeah.
Oh,
storefront?
yeah. Oh, wait. So are you suggesting
Whoa,
we could have a store? That's what
I
I'm
think
hearing.
we're being
I think
asked to
that's an
serve for the
invitation.
city.
We are.
I think
I-
we've been invited to take over some retail space. We could do live broadcasts. We could do entertainment. We could do
Oh my
coffee
gosh.
with
Autograph
Coffee with-
signings.
We can do all
autograph
kinds of
signings,
merch.
coffee
Yeah.
coffee with Tom.
Easily.
Oh man, this is
I
the
don't,
point
know
of the
if
show.
there's a- I don't know if there's a space big enough for.
No,
Right.
There you go.
no, not
the
for all.
crowd.
Right. Well, see now we're gonna get
Some
the
of
space
us.
for free, but we have to hire a police detail. And,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
Right.
it's a lot. So we'll have our people talk to your people about that, as they say. Hey, so I have to ask you. You mentioned the MMTV building, and I was walking by last night, and I noticed like where all the desks where Pat used to sit and stuff are
Yeah.
gone and consolidated. So is something, I know that building was going to be renovated at one point, so it looks like maybe something happened. Can you tell us what's going in there?
Yeah, so Matt Roman is the owner, and it still has plans, to develop it. But
Yeah.
my understanding is MMTV, as you guys may have been in there, didn't really need all of that space. A lot
Right.
of the programming has
Yeah.
turned to podcasts or gone virtual, and so they still have the rest of the studio, but that freed it up. They went in and did some renovations. It's bright. There's new flooring and wall.
Yeah.
We had actually considered it for the pop up at one point, but kind of timing and I think foot traffic volume didn't really sync with what we were looking for. So it's a beautiful space. And
Yeah.
as far as I understand, it's available for anybody that wants to
Hey.
open a business.
We saw someone with Matt
Mhm.
doing a walkthrough. Sam and I were over there the other day. We saw
Oh.
him there with some giving someone a tour.
That's great.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
hopefully that will land. So that was the intent, was to make that another retail space while he's, waiting to do whatever he's going to do with the building. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
Looks good.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Emily and Lauren. Thank
Yeah.
you both for
yeah,
being
thanks
here.
for having us.
Great.
And don't forget the event Thursday night coming up. You said this
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
It's going to be great.
At the
Yeah.
Worklery, and it's free, right?
It is, and it's from 6 to 8 p.m.
6 to 8,
Awesome.
and the Worklery is on the 3rd floor of the Eastern Bank building. For
Right.
anybody,
Yeah. 441.
get down
Yep.
there.
So after that event, then you just walk on over to the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah,
They're open
for mic.
yeah, it's going to be off the hook this week.
I
think.
love that you can now spend like an evening going up and down Melrose.
Yep.
And,
Rising
and then
Eagle,
you're
elevator
gonna,
pitch.
and pretty soon you're gonna get a book and marketing stuff, and I mean,
It's gonna be amazing.
And Lockheed Tower is going to pull up and
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in front of my house. It's going to be amazing.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my goodness.
Well, it is, yeah, there's a lot of people that work hard for all of this. You
Thank you.
included, Lauren, and
all of you guys too, for all
Emily.
you do.
Thank you.
The other thing I would say is just support all of this.
we just beg for stuff all the time. That's what we do.
I would just encourage everybody to go check this stuff out. So
Yeah.
I think everything we talked about has been free and probably walkable from, if you can
Yeah.
walk to Main Street area and you just check it out and you mix and mingle and see some old friends and familiar faces and you meet some new people. Like
Yeah.
the game night, I learned,
So
I don't
much
know,
fun.
games I never heard of before and met some new people, and it's just good, clean fun and a nice way to mingle and all these things we're talking about. This event you're talking about on Thursday sounds fantastic. Go out and check it out. You can
Yeah.
go to Rising Eagle, get something to eat.
Right.
You can go to the workshop and then head over to the Nights for some live music. I mean, that's a pretty good Thursday night.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Not bad.
And you'll see us around town because we're doing all these things. So
Yeah.
that,
Bonus.
I know.
We're
we
always
will
somewhere.
we will see you around town.
Well, before we're gonna see you, we want to, Jen. We want to tell the people about next week. You're the one who put it in the notes.
Oh, I did put that in there.
We talked about this before the show. So we have another awesome guest next week. Murray Kidd is to talk about Polymnia's Choral Society upcoming program, Considering Matthew Shepard. And so I got a note from Charlotte Pierce, who I saw recently at the open mic night. And she said, we're not only showcasing professional musicians, high school choirs, and an orchestra, but we are welcoming nonprofit organizations and local government branches that work to represent the LGBTQ plus community and racial equity. So it's a very sort of meaningful program that they're putting together with a lot of talent all in one spot. It's coming up, I think, in March, and they're rehearsing week in and week out right now. And Murray Kidd is going to give us a little window into that next week, so it's going to be very exciting.
Yep. Right. And then coming up shortly thereafter, we're going to have somebody from the Disability Commission coming and talking about the draft ADA self-evaluation and transition plan for Melrose. So that's really excited. That's a newer commission for commissions.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Look at us. We are planning ahead. This is 2023. Season 5 is off the chain already. Like we've been planning ahead, which is very unlike us.
I know. But I'm excited about the Disability Commission because all the stuff we walk into, we do want everybody to be able to get there. I love the new Follow Your Art building where they have the ramps and everything. They've made it as accessible. Took an old Victorian and made it sort of super accessible. So this is all exciting stuff. We want to make sure everybody can get there. And we'll see you around town.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on.